an environmental issue. This is critical if we're going to support a thriving economy and to protect the health and safety of our residents. We have to continue to reduce emissions and to make our state more resilient to impacts. And I'm proud to say that with the help of many of the people in this room, we have already made significant progress. So for example, the U.S. Department of Energy came out with a report earlier this year that showed that Delaware has reduced emissions more than any other state in the country over the last 4 years. We have fuel switched or shut down 9 out of our 10 coal power plants. And the one that still exists has invested hundreds of millions of dollars, and they've gone from being one of the dirtiest coal-fired power plants in the country to one of the cleanest. In the last 4 years, we have increased 25 times, from 2 megawatts to 50 megawatts, the deployment of solar power in the state. We've got the nation's largest fuel cell farms here in Delaware. We're a national leader in geothermal. We're promoting higher efficiency vehicles. We're making investments in energy efficiency, and we've got important legislation that's pending to drive that even further. And these are all investments that will strengthen our economy and also reduce emissions at the same time, and that's an absolute win-win. And we're also taking focused action that will help transition us from being at a place of vulnerability to a place of preparedness and resilience. It all starts with the science. So back in 2010, Secretary O'Meara brought together a 24-member committee to look at the effects that sea level rise could have on Delaware's communities, our economy and our natural resources, and then to put together recommendations. And so they looked at all these risks. They got extensive community and public input. And the Sea Level Rise Advisory Committee provided a list of recommendations, and they range from improving the resiliency of infrastructure, improving coordination across levels of government, and I agree with what Mayor Williams said about how, this is an example of city, county, state, federal governments working together, and ensuring that families and businesses have the information that they need to make informed decisions. And I really want to recognize the members of that committee and tell them how much I appreciate the work that you did. We're also working with some of the leading scientists in the state, including several experts at the University of Delaware. Dean Target, thank you for being here, from the University of Delaware, state climatologist Dan Leathers, who are all helping us look at our vulnerabilities to higher temperature, greater precipitation, and more storms. So that gives us all the knowledge, and the question is, what do we do with it? And so we're making investments today to improve our resiliency to storms and to flooding and to sea level rise. So right here in Southbridge, we're partnering with the City of Wilmington and with the local neighborhood to construct a wetland that will help alleviate the flooding challenges and make the community better prepared for future storms and sea level rise. And Secretary O'Meara is going to talk about that in a little more detail. In the City of Newcastle, very nearby, we are repairing dikes that protect thousands of residents and hundreds of businesses. That work is going on literally as we speak. Across Sussex counties, further south, we're repairing dams and impoundments, we're restoring wetlands, and we're strategically nourishing beaches. We're updating drainage codes. We're floodplain standards and stormwater management practices, all of which improve our resiliency. We're also making sure that state government is leading by example. A few years ago, I signed Executive Order 18, which is helping the states save money through energy efficiency, the use of cleaner energy, recycling, and reduced vehicle miles. Just a couple of months ago, just a couple miles from here or less, over at the Peterson Urban Wildlife Refuge, we took the next key step, and I issued Executive Order 41 on climate preparedness. And that was designed to accomplish 3 things. One, to continue our national leadership in terms of reducing greenhouse gas emissions in ways that strengthen our economy. This is not just about the environment, this is about the environment and improving our economy. That's number 1. Number 2, requiring that state agencies develop strategies to improve the resiliency of state operations and facilities with a focus on using natural systems and green infrastructure, making sure that we share best practices with local governments, and reaching out to residents and businesses alike about the risks and adaptation strategies. So that's number 2. And number 3 is with respect to this executive order, requiring that all state agencies incorporate measures for adapting to increased flood heights and sea level rise in the siting and design of state-funded projects. Through all of this, we are making significant progress in terms of improving our resiliency, but we can do more, and we must do more. And I believe that we are serving as a model for other states to learn from. We've got a lot of lessons to share, but we also have a lot to learn from other states and other leaders across the country. And so for that reason, I was very appreciative when we were approached by the White House to join the President's Task Force on Climate Preparedness and Resiliency. And I think this recognition by the President and by his team is really, it's recognition and it's testament to the work that all the people in this room and others have done within the state.